Howdy everyone, welcome back to more for the 2024 Stoneburner Open for Dune Imperium Uprising. I'm your host and Tom with the BlackShadow, and we're continuing our coverage of the group stages for our tournament. The first online Uprising competition we focus here on hidden assets. Today we're having a look at Group Q. This is definitely the first match I've covered for this group, as we're in a pretty early stage actually. This group's also had a couple of scheduling issues, so they haven't played a ton of games here. Here's the table at the moment. Only the one match played so far, which was won by Chiefcll, and he will also be featuring in this match too, as he takes on Juodameska, iwontbecreative, and TheLandMan. Several noted regulars to our competition scene in this one, mainly Chief, Martel, Creative, QC24 has been in, Baxter as well, but a few new names as well, which is always good to see. But thanks to this, a pretty tough group. It's also one of the biggest size groups as well. A reminder, of course, that there's top two that go through to the quarterfinals. Third, fourth, and fifth make their way into a wildcard playoff match in order to try and join the quarterfinals as well. So a large amount of this group will not make the cut here. If you are curious, Chief won the first match playing as Muad'Dib, who has definitely been one of the most popular leaders so far in the competition. Admittedly, I haven't played a ton of Muad'Dib, which is kind of weird. Folks that know me know I played a ton of Pool Atreides in the base game, and I should probably play Muad'Dib more often. Maybe I just feel I don't want to have to be like resigned to just putting in worms and hooks all the time, but you know, that's just the way I see it sometimes. But regardless, it doesn't matter what I would do. I'm not involved in this group, so let's go have a watch of the match. Alright then, so getting ourselves ready for the match here. Creative has found himself in the first seat in blue, which means it will be Juodameska to pick first in yellow. One thing I do have to get used to, obviously, the fact that we don't have... It's no longer fixed into a seat for like these sort of things, so I don't mind it this way, but it's an adjustment you've got to make quickly, you know what I mean? Anyways, look at the opening contracts and Imperium row here. Two decent opening contracts, by the way. Deliver Supplies and Arakim, both spots you're going to be hitting early. Both decent resources to pick up as well. So that's going to give a lot of credence to going to like Dutiful, Accept Contract, stuff like that. So all lovely good stuff. The tables just sort themselves out that you can see in the chat box. Imperium row-wise, all eyes will be on Long Live the Fighters as probably the standout card. Very, very strong, very powerful. Sometimes you can draw it a bit awkwardly, but it's still a very, very strong reveal. Very, very good card there. A lot of decent stuff as well. Junction of the Quarters looks good, but can be hard to use sometimes. Guild Envoy is a curious card as well. It looks like cheaper faction access compared to Truth Trance or the Emperor style card, but it is a mandatory discard. You are forced to do it, which has thrown a lot of folks, because we used to discards being usually optional in XMO, but this is a mandatory discard. There's no may about it. You have to discard something when you play it. Unswerving and reliable to iron off the row. As for leaders-wise, we're missing Gurney Halleck, and we're missing... Who are we missing? Margot. So two of the most popular leaders so far in this competition are not there, which means players are going to have to kind of make this work a bit here. I can definitely see both Shaddam and Irulan getting taken. Staban might be picked in like a first seat to pick up like Guild Envoy, and that looks pretty tempting, but it'd be a little bit dangerous other than that. Muad'Dib and Fade, you imagine, are going to be pretty much go-tos here. But if Staban gets picked, an early reveal to like someone to take Guild Envoy would really, really hurt. But we'll see what happens. So it's Juodameska to pick first. I'm hoping I'm saying their name correctly. I try to make a point of saying people's names correctly. They had in the previous video that I recorded, Munaim, which apparently, I mean, when we did the draft, I thought it was like kind of a bit of a play on like Muad'Dib, but it's actually just apparently a shortened version of their actual name, which, you know, I didn't know. So, you know, it's kind of cool. And you learn sort of odd little things. Everyone's got their own little stories behind their names. I definitely do have my own little story, being called the BlackShadow, which I won't talk about here. I think I've talked about this on stream a couple of times, and if you ask me nicely, maybe I'll tell you one day. Anyways, so yellow to pick first here. Not obvious to know who to pick, truthfully. This is kind of a awkward one. Yeah, pick away. Must have missed it. Some people may not hear me. I'm not in their group calls, so I'm speaking through the game. But yeah, it's a tough one to know for Juodameska who exactly to pick here. Fade is probably the pick. Irulan is fine. I think he would go Fade a lot here, and does. Fade is kind of like a bit of a non-committal sort of leader. He can do a bit of deck building, a bit of combat. Obviously, being able to possibly reveal Spy at the end if it's a fight you really want to get hold of as well. Trying to take advantage of the early games. So it's kind of a I'm going to wait and see what happens sort of pick, which I do like. I think this is one of those it's not obvious to know what to do here. I expect Chief might well take... it does go Irulan. It was either Irulan and Muad'Dib here, which means LandMan, I suspect, will take Muad'Dib in second spot, you'd think, to try and obviously go hooks very quickly. And then it's off to Creative in first, who I don't know. Staban is definitely an option, but it could go wrong. Maybe, like, Shaddam is an option, but I do think Shaddam in first seat is also a bit awkward as well sometimes, so... Oops. It's not, that doesn't inspire confidence. So we'll see what Creative's going to do here. I think he's going to go Shaddam. Staban is very, very make or break early. Although it's hard to see anyone revealing early to take Guild Envoy, so he might be able to make it work. And if he can get Guild Envoy, that's a decent enough surrogate for diplomacy. So you can kind of go both ways on this. It depends how brave you're feeling. I think Staban's meant to be the pick here. I think. Given the fact that all the combat leaders are gone as well, like all of the notable combat leaders are all missing, so either they've all been picked or they've all been drafted out. So maybe picking someone who does something a little bit different, go for a heavy spy game might be good. And he does go Staban. He does pick it. So he's going to commit himself and hope he gets Guild Envoy, but we'll see. Anyways, opening conflict is the mouse skirmish for the cash. Everyone would like a piece of this. Both the dagger folks are down the back here. Irulan's got double daggers as well, so this could get pretty eventful. Staban misses his ring and seek allies. Muad'Dib, everyone else draws fairly decently, truthfully, but Staban doesn't pull great. So Staban needs to decide very immediately here, is he going to commit himself to this fight and try and just win this outright and then work it out from there? I think he definitely's got the kind of hand he could do. He's only got 5 persuasion. If he had 6, I could even talk myself into like going assembly hall to like pick up fighters. But Arakeen, ooh, he pulls to 6 actually. So Staban Tuek might assembly hall here and try and go for longer the fighters. It'd make his deck very weird access-wise. Very, very unusual, though. Yeah, but it's tempting. Fabricate from Muad'Dib, no surprise. What does Irulan want to do here? How does she want to get involved? I kind of like Irulan just going diplomacy to, like, deliver supplies or dutiful here, and then actually limping in a bit with Dune Desert Planet with the double daggers. You know you're going to want to get involved in fighting here. Could also go Desert Tactics and trash a dagger outright, but your next hand's going to be a bit weird. Double city access. Seek allies coming as well. Just opens up with accept contracts. So he's going to try and greed it a little bit here. Pulls a ring. Did not want to see the ring. That's not a good pull. That's not ideal. So a little bit awkward there to pull that. Might have to skip it for a round and hope to pair it with something later on, but that's not the card you wanted. Fade's got all sorts of options here. All sorts of options. Could go spiced espionage, could go deliver supplies and just ring something. Desert Tactics is there, trash the dagger. A lot of options here. I think he's going to ring first and kind of see what happens. Looks like espionage is being looked into here and is being flirted. I don't see him going spice around. He's pulled both city accesses, which isn't... I don't think it's always ideal to begin with. But we'll see. Reminder, of course, he can either bump up or down, but typically people bump down to begin with. Don't often see the trash immediately. Yep, so just committing himself immediately to espionage. And just going to make certain of that and then kind of play it as he sees it, basically. Okay. So Fades might have a kind of a bit of a non-committal sort of game. He's going to put in the troops now. Because he's not going to deploy anymore, so he's trying to get it in now and then get the best of everything here. Staban does go assembly hall. He is off to get long the fighters. Wow, change allegiances is picked up, by the way. That's a huge card for Staban to have. That's gonna be really handy for the limited faction access that he's gonna have. Now he can conceivably, like, hit the Fremen really hard and then maybe even kind of shift it away a little bit to try and get some other friendships. We'll see how he plays it. But Staban is going to be largely kind of just playing it as he sees it. It's kind of hard to plan here. So one downside along the fight is it's a great cardinal, but it's hard to plan around because you never know quite what you're going to draw into, so you're always kind of winging it a little bit. Muad'Dib's got his ring, he's going to use it. Might just go Refinery and pick up some coins. Yep, not surprised to see this. Wow, pause is convincing. That's a big draw. And now Junction Headquarters looks pretty good here. It's a great reveal from Muad'Dib, the water and the troop. That's a fantastic financer. He's going to put in the 2 troops. Well, if Irulan wants to get involved, it's desert tactics, basically. And desert tactics could have some huge use. If she goes in heavy and then Fade and Muad'Dib end up tying, like, none of them would get any money. She's got to do something here. I cannot see her revealing early. Deliver supplies, also just for the cash there, but it feels kind of bad when there's cash in the fight. And you got both your daggers now. Yeah, the ring was not a good pull. I think she might convince herself to desert tactics here. No. Irulan is going to bide her time. It's going to bide her time and wait for a better spot. I guess if this was a matching conflict, if she had the other mouse symbol, she'd probably go for it. But doesn't. Desert Tactics is still there, and Fade's going to talk himself into this, I think. He's going to trash the dagger out of his hand. Is he going to put in the other 2 troops and win and take this down? No, pays more, though. I don't really like putting in 1 troop here. I feel like you put in both or neither. It's kind of a weird sort of weird deploy, unless you're going to give up the spy? I don't know, it's a bit of a funky one. Anyways, Staban does take long to fight. It's going to be interesting. Priority Contracts comes off next. Muad'Dib will go Junction Headquarters, I would imagine, a lot of the time. But he might go Guild Envoy. Reliable Informant's also pretty good. Takes on Swerving, so clearly looking to go down a Fremen route. Penny Opera Summons obviously takes that instead. Bit fortunate. Irulan with 3, I imagine, is going to take Covert Operation. The Reliable Informant's good. Guild Envoy is also good. Just takes the general faction access. And Fade, I imagine, is going Covert here. Looks a great card for him, and does. Steersman comes off. That is going to be a target. So, it's money all over the place. No one takes a symbol, which I guess Fade is happy enough with. I would have considered paying the extra troop just to get the extra mouse symbol. That might be important later. But, never mind. So, round 2 is the Basin. See, another mouse conflict here. I guess Fade wouldn't have been able to win back-to-back fights, but regardless. So, Muad'Dib can just go Fremkit Siege, obviously. And I imagine he will. I don't see him doing much else here. Just draw. He's got double daggers as well, so he's going to commit himself fully into this one. No surprises there. What does Irulan want to do here? Arakeen deliver supplies, gets yourself to 3 spies. Looks pretty tasty. I think we're going to see an Arakeen move here, and we do. It's a conflict to go after as well. You've got the garrison. Doesn't match with you, unfortunately, but Basin's going to generate you some resources over the course of the game. So I expect we'll see it all go in, and do. Fade obviously cannot get back to the Fremen here. So, not entirely sure what his plan's going to be. He might just go deliver supplies himself here, I suspect. Maybe even go deliver supplies, hack a basin. No, he's going to go down the espionage route. He's going to start hitting it early. He's after Steersman. Can he get anywhere near it? Not with that hand. Pulls cover operation, though, so those spies will be getting distributed across the board. He pulls his Diplo, which isn't too bad. But he is not getting to Steers. Yeah, Blue's saying might need to someone... It's one of those ones where he's saying someone should go Assembly Hall and block, but he won't do it himself, of course. Naturally. So the Barn's just going to take the spice at Haggard Basin. Obviously has intentions of trying to get hold of his Swordmaster ASAP. No one's going Assembly Hall, but Fade Ralph has missed. He's hit his covert operations. He didn't really want to see it, I don't think. He did want steers. But there's no way to it. So the Barntuik also can't get there. He doesn't really have enough money for High Council. But I don't think he can draw it. Unless he goes High Council and pulls along with the fighters specifically. Which is a 1 in 5. Would Staban talk himself into that? I don't know. Looks juicy though, doesn't it? So, Siege for Muad'Dib, no surprise. Yelan's got a faction card down. Just got to go deliver supplies, surely. You got to go deliver supplies and look to hit Deep Desert probably next round and keep the spice away from Muad'Dib. No. Well. Okay, I guess. She gets the 2 persuasion early. Gets leverage, courtesy of the ability Imperial Birthright. Fade gambles, and he does draw to try to hit it, but he misses. So everyone has to discard here. Dagger will go. Dune will go. Muad'Dib's keeping the daggers, no doubt. So he tried to find his way to his other convincing argument, but he misses. So no steersman for Fade. No, he did try. And the problem is, now he's done that, there are worlds he loses the espionage spy. He's pulled his ring as well. If you inspire roll just to take Reliable Informant into his deck here, he doesn't have a worm, so he can't put it in his hand. Just getting hold of more spy stuff. So the Barn will seek out, seek allies. Will deliver supplies. And it's going to be a tie for the win here. Muad'Dib with his double daggers, nothing to buy. Irulan's got 3. Nothing for her to buy. It's a 4-cost minimum row here. Faye gets first crack at it with 6. Does he take Junction or Priority? I think he takes Junction just for the... it's an alliance he can try to go for, maybe. He has got some access and he's got spies. We'll go for it. Branching Path comes off next. Bit of a tricky card, but it is faction access for Staban, and I don't see him turning it down. He's looking at Power Compass for the money, but surely branching's got to be the correct call here, you'd think. With no faction access. Yeah, looks like that looks the move. He's got to just take whatever comes. Makes sense. So, Staban will take 3rd place. The water in the troops are about that, and it'll be 2 order 2 troops for everyone else. I don't know if Chief was playing for a tie, but he's got it. So he's going to get his way to Deep Desert anyways. Looks like Chief is also eyeing up going for the Priority Contracts card to try and find a Spice Must Flow, try and find a point out of that. And with leverage, he's definitely going to go for it. So 2 ties in a row, and we'll move on. Round 3. Let's test the loyalty. Falter. The Emperor Bump and the Spies. Very juicy. Muad'Dib is going in with worms here, and is probably going to take this down, you'd imagine. Hard to see him not getting this. She goes dutiful again because of the immediate contract. So Irulan clearly making it obvious what she's intending to do here. Just going all in on contracts and just trying to hit those. Fade will go in at Arakeen to draw better. He's found Covert again, but has no spies to put down. Pulls Diplo, a little fortunate. Staban has along with the fighters, but he has to draw, so he'd have to go to Fremkit first. That's why he's trying to look at his discard pile. I don't think it really matters too much. You got to go to Fremkit. The thing with long fights, you've got to have a deck to draw from. A bit like Paul's old Prescient ability. So you'd have to go to Fremkit, draw a card. Unless he's thinking of going Desert Tactics, but he will not be able to draw. So I think he's forced to go Fremkit here. Because he wants to draw and get the trash that way. I don't see why you go Desert Tactics here. And must have a deck to draw into, so wow, that hurts. You can't draw. You can't draw. They have to be here. Yeah, didn't realize that. So they know he's going Fremen, and they know that they know he's going Fremkit now. But yeah, you can't shift your deck to draw for that. You've got to have them. Yeah, creative known mainly for playing Imo. Not as familiar with Uprising. Muad'Dib gets the spy down. Picks up tactical option as well, which is pretty nice. Yep, indeed. I think Fade Ralpha's going Fremkit, though. Given his hand. The fact he's pulled the Diplomacy. Irulan might go there instead. She's got to gild him again. It's a mandatory discard. Yep, she's looking. Must know she can't win it. So one of these two have got to go Fremkit, knowing that he's got long the fighters. Like, that's an important thing to block. Because he does not worry you want to go Desert Tactics with it. But they know he's also got, in theory, +4 swords. But Irulan prioritizing her own trash here. So the question is Fade going to go Fremkit? I feel like he should do because he needs worm access. Irulan also just wants this alliance done and dusted. The problem is, Muad'Dib's just going Deep Desert here. Like, Muad'Dib's just going Deep Desert. You're never, ever winning this fight is the problem. So that's why Desert Tactics is awkward here. You're going there for the trash, but you don't really want to put any troops here. Yeah, and he realizes this is really awkward going Desert Tactics, and I kind of don't like it. She doesn't want to go Fremkit because she'd have to draw. Yeah, difficult spot here. I think Deliver Supplies is okay for the cash. And I suspect we'll see that it also opens up Research Station in the future. And Steersman's still out there, by the way. So I think she's better off waiting. So Fade now with the Diplo. He has no Espionage. He has no Desert Tactics. If he's using it, he's off to Fremkit. Okay, so error fixed. So Fade has to go Fremkit. It's the only move that makes any logical sense. I think it might be one of his only moves he could have taken. So Staban will be denied here. So the question is, what does he want to do? I think he's going to go... He's got to get his Swordmaster. If he pulls the Spy, he can then draw with Desert Tactics. Right, yeah. That's why you don't put him anywhere near your board. Good spot there, though. So he does make the draw, pulls his ring, which is not ideal, but what are you going to do? At least with Long the Fighters, you'll be cycling it. The thing is, his deck is only 10 cards. It's not that big. So he's going to be seeing stuff very, very quickly, which is both good and bad. Muad'Dib's just going to go Hagar Basin. He figures he's going to be good here. Doesn't need to go Deep Desert. Irulan with 3. Not a great row for 3. Probably just take a Prepare the Way and does. Fade has 6 again. So still no Steersman. I can't see him taking priority contracts here, even though it would be a clear denial of a point to green. So he's just going to whack his spies down. But I definitely feel like Muad'Dib's kind of getting the best of this at the moment. Irulan's there or thereabouts as well. Irulan's it's basically just being allowed to do anything she wants here. No one is doing anything about her here. And then is going to lift the 2 here. Yeah, has to lift a spy and fight for this. He's got no choice. Means Muad'Dib's going to have to use an intrigue here. He does have the sword, sadly. And bear in mind, he does pick up another intrigue with the worm in combat as well, which is what makes him so dangerous. Unpredictable foe is just, it's really, really horrible to fight against. It just gives so much value. Goes for Tread, so he's committing himself to that alliance. Summon Elders turns up next, which is a good card, by the way. And I think that might interest Staban if Muad'Dib doesn't take it. Staban has an action. There's too much value to not use Long Live the Fighters here. Unfortunately, he'd have to go Desert Tactic. He could go to Research Station, but he'd not be able to use everything properly. The water's nice, but I think you've got to go Desert Tactics and use this. So he's going to have a very, very small deck here. So he draws 3. One he keeps, one he trashes, one he discards. Convincing, and Dagger. So that makes it nice and easy. So the one card he didn't pull was Branching, which he'll be pretty happy with, actually, because that's only a 2 Persuasion reveal anyways. So, decent result. He still gets the trash off the space as well, which is not mandatory, so I can't tell him to do it, but he does get the dab. But yeah, Staban is rocking an 8-card deck here, which is almost too small. Won't bother getting any more troops involved here. He can ambush the Siege as well if Fate doesn't go there immediately. Summon Elders is taken from Muad'Dib. No surprise. Good card for him. And then Staban is going to reveal with 5. Bit awkward. Power Compass, I guess he just takes. I wouldn't actually hate taking the Sardaukar Soldier as well because you've got Long Live the Fighters. You can get that trash bonus. Looks pretty good. By the way, Desert Power's just turned up here. That's a huge card in this game, you feel. Cargo Runner comes off as well. That's another nice card for Irulan as well. She gets bags of value out of that. And here's the 2 swords. Red needs to take an Intrigue for the Worm, by the way, anyways. I'm only telling you this once. Which you've got to take there. So, special mission is found, but the 2 swords will take it anyways. So, Fade, a little unlucky. Did the right thing, though. I think it was totally the right move. If he's got the swords, he's got the swords. There's not a lot you can do about it. The money's still good. It still gets you the Swordmaster before anyone else, so second prize is not a disaster, but Muad'Dib's going to get there anyways. And we'll move on. Any ward fights yet? Oh, here it is, just on the nick of time here. Arakeen does come up here. Fault to Combat as well, another one. But it is walled, so no worms initially. Imperial Basin's built up with spice quite nicely. Muad'Dib does not pull any city access. So Muad'Dib's going to try to get probably to Fremkir or... Well, it's going to have to try and get to Fremkir, surely, to draw here. It's a bit of a weird hand Muad'Dib's actually got here. Kind of really awkward. Fade has Swordmaster and kind of has to go for it. But he also wants to make sure he gets to deliver supplies, which he's a little bit nervous about. Is he going to give the Swordmaster for that? Surely not. Surely not when there's money in the fight. Wow. Fader Alpha gives up Swordmaster to hit deliver supplies. Now that is a shock. I don't know if I like getting rid of the Swordmaster for that. I don't think that's right. I think you get to deliver supplies more often than not anyways. Well, whatever. Staban was always going to take the spice here. He hasn't seen his ring a ton, truthfully. And he is going to be trying to harass a bit. He could also, I mean, like, he could have gone Siege, I guess. And he can still go Siege, by the way. Yeah, very surprising, that. Muad'Dib will Deep Desert, just taking the spice, of course. Nothing else to do with it. Has to go there before Irulan. Maybe you think, oh, that's why he didn't Swordmaster. He figures, well, Muad'Dib has to take the spice, right? I guess that makes a degree of sense. All right, okay. Well, yeah. Uprising's hard to commentate, kids. So, that's fair. So, Irulan has 5 water. And it's time to start using some of it. I think for me, research stations should start being at the least considered. You know both of them are going to get their Sword Masters, so you're in no particular rush there. You just need to make sure to pick that up next round. Leverage, if you use it, will get you there. Irony is, you could Signet Ring to Research Station, and if you pick up like your Prepare the Way, you could trash it, and then that activates Spice, which means you can then play Leverage. But you'd have to draw it, which is not particularly likely. But it's also a big garrison for a city fight, which you'd like a piece of. Arakine's a nice one to have. That pays for Imperial Privilege. It pays for High Council. You got this water here. You should really try and use it for something. I think it's not a bad move. And she needs a decent persuasion hand for priority contracts or to make a punt for steersman. She's got both convincings in hand. I just feel like Imperial Research Station is the move here. I mean, there's a lot you can gain from this. Does agree. Guild Envoy is picked up with Dune Desert Planet. Interesting. Deploys 3. Ooh, she's only got 7. She needs the dagger at Assembly Hall if she wants steersman. Gonna find out now what Irulan wants to do here. The trash is not mandatory. She doesn't have to do it. Feels not great to use the ring and not trash, but it's a tricky call. So it looks like Irulan's gonna look to try to get to Fremkit, and yeah. No, Trash's Guild for the spice! For leverage. Wow. She does actually trash it. That's pretty amazing. She's going High Council with the dagger. That's why she's got the rebate there. Sacrificing Guild Envoy hurts. But no one's going to stop her doing this. And this is going to be a huge boon for Chief to pick up Steersman here. Yeah, that sucks to give up, but I guess if you pick up Steers, I guess you can justify it. So the Barn's off to Espionage. Now he's got the Power Compass in hand here, but it's only worth any persuasion if you've got High Council. It's 2 for having a High Council seat, and then +1 if you've also got Swordmaster. So that's the thing with Power Compass. It kind of works backwards here. Swordmaster, High Council. So correctly seen here by Chief. It's a good routing. And Steers is going, and nothing anyone can do about it. Fades Ring. He's off to Siege to get his hooks. And he's just obviously just getting himself stuck in here. No surprise. What does the Barn want to do here? Out of curiosity, I don't know. Fade was about to like put down a spider. No, you're not at that spot. You're not going to trust the dagger? Anything you can see, yeah. It's just a regular trash. I'll say, yeah, no, it's just a standard trash, like any other trash symbol. Anything that is face up for you, you can trash. Staban might as well go Arakeen. There's no reason not to go Arakeen with Power Compass. The only question is, what do you want to do with the spy there? Do you want to keep him there? No. Hold on. He doesn't have, you don't have 6 persuasion. This is the reveal of nothing. You have to have at least High Council for that to be worth anything. Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, creatives, say most familiar with Iximo here. So, yeah, Desert Power, I totally get why he wants to take it, but he can't. It is a powerful card. But he's got to get the hooks first still. So he has to go Arakeen. Does he spend the spy? imagine he's going to here. Yeah, you have to do it all manually. Because it's also, you've also revealed, so the script won't go back to you. So, he's going to pull 2. Pulls his ring again. Pulls along with the fighters, by the way. So he actually has 8 persuasion, but he's not getting to steers. He's going to put it in because he's got the swords. He has to now. And now it's off to red here. I guess he's just going to go Frem Kit or Secrets. Pulls the other special mission. Wow. No bonus troops. He's got another Benny in play, so just the access here. So Irulan steers. Gets the bump of the point. Huge boon. Really, really good card for Irulan, that. Good card for anyone, of course. Fade reveals. Gets the reveal for Junction, so the water and troop. Along with the hooks, so Deep Desert is being threatened next round. If it's not a ward conflict, which it's, you know. Wow. And Fade Ralpha is going to force a tie with Irulan here. Didn't expect that. Very liberal with these spies. I guess he feels that he's going to be... He's got plenty of pickup options, but I'm a little surprised by that. But, you know, denying people points is more of a thing in Uprising. We've seen a lot of that so far this game. A lot of denying. Just the 2 persuasion. Prepare the way looks good. Staban's going to disappoint them with along with the fighters. So, +3 swords. But he has 8 persuasion in hand, so he's going to get Desert Power anyways if that's what he wants. And he will do. It's also just a decent agent box, by the way. There's the variant for Dakin Steel Tent, but he wants stuff with Fremen bonds, like Northern Watermaster, Ecological Station, stuff like that. I think he should just get some cards in his hand as well. His deck's only like 11 cards. He's going to be trashing along with the fighters, so I think getting a couple of Fremen cards in hand just can't be a bad thing. Yeah, just get some stuff in there. You've trashed a lot. Probably almost too much. Mardi with 4. Steel Tent looks pretty good. Dead Survival looks pretty decent. Deck of 12. Double Agent's also tempting. Double Agent's a nice little card that I do quite like. Double Agent. Low-key one I do appreciate using a lot. Get a lot of value out of that, but he's gone down the Fremen route pretty here, so no surprise to see the Steel Tent. So, Staban will take this down. And it'll be just 3 coins apiece for green and yellow. Starting to worry a little bit about yellow here. I feel like he's starting to fall behind a little bit. Staban needs some points, though. He is behind. And we'll move on. Well, well, well. It's trade dispute. This is an absolutely nutty worm combat, this. Fade Ralpha is going Deep Desert here. Almost all the time, if someone doesn't beat him to Haga Basin. Staban Tuek has pulled Desert Power as well, immediately. Oh my goodness. And remember, Staban can get to Siege here. He has changed allegiances. So he's off to Fremkit or Desert Tactics again. He's got Sardaukar Soldier in hand, so that's why he's going for Tactics to trash here. Staban has to win this as well. He's got the match. What we got? Convincing, Signet, and Recon. So that'll be trashed. I don't know if he's going to take the ring or not. I think he might discard. I don't know. I think he's meant to take the ring in hand. Because he's trashing Sardaukar Soldier out of his hand. And Branching Path isn't doing a whole lot. And Desert Power he wants to reveal. So, I think this makes a lot of sense. He's hoping that he is going to get to Siege here with Change Allegiances and no one blocks him. Not a guarantee. And he has got the Tactics trash as well. He's obviously concerned that Muad'Dib might just blast in here, but I don't think there's anything Staban can do about it. Here comes the Sardaukar trash out of his hand. Again, I can't tell him to do that. Always try and do this before you. I always try and, when I'm doing stuff, I always commit troops at the very end, because now if you pull something and you change what you do, it's a bit weird. So I'm always like, get all information, commit troops before you, that's the last thing you ever do. But it's a nice one for him. The +3 swords there. Guild spies on the road, by the way. I don't know if any of you guys noticed that. Irulan was going to pick up a Swordmaster, but as well, she might give that up. And might think, I might just take Guild Spy and sacrifice an action for it. Actions are reasonably open. She could do with some Fremen bumps. Muad'Dib with 7. Oh, bad news for Staban. Unfortunate. So Saban is now going to be hoping that he gets to espionage. I guess he's got the ring. He can always put a spy down. He'd have to branching path it. So a little awkward this for Staban here. Espionage from Irulan. So obviously off to look to go High Council. She might go High Council again, by the way. Not impossible. You might see that once in a blue moon. So if Staban wants to get his worm in with Desert Power, he's going to have to play his ring and then send it in with Branching Path, which is not ideal. Worm for Fade. You feel like Staban kind of needs to win this as well, don't you? So what does he want to do? High Council? Is High Council good for Staban here? I don't hate it. Accept Contract has some interesting use. A couple of decent ones out there. We've got the Ward of the Highliner, and you've got the Refinery Double Draw as well. Both are decent cards. Staban also could just use Desert Power and just get a load of spice, but it feels kind of bad on this fight. This is one that you feel you've got to win. You're kind of behind on points. It's round 5. You're running out of time here. You've got to start making a move. I think Staban's going to be forced to go branching to Siege here and infiltrate. No, he's gonna hold back. So Desert Power, I don't really know what it's doing here. Pulls back by Trone, by the way, which is a nice little card. That no contracts, but the money's there if he needs it. Although it's not so great for Staban, who obviously traditionally not so great with the faction game. Muad'Dib has got Diplo now, so he can blast in with Highliner if he wants to. Benny Operative is blocked out, and Unswerving has no actions. Muad'Dib might just go accept contract Highline blasting and get the water, and that gets him fueled for Deep Desert and all sorts of stuff. It's a matching conflict for him as well. What else have you got here that makes a lot of sense? Can just go Haggard Basin. Doesn't have to do it that way. But he doesn't want to spend the spy. Deliver Supplies doesn't feel great. Fremkit he could do. The alliance is wide open. He could also look to try to put some pressure on Irulan with the Emperor, but I think that's not very likely. He's got 2 Warbreak Intrigues in his hands, which obviously aren't too useful right now. So, it's a tricky spot. Except Contract Highline, like, you're going to win the fight. Just going to go Deliver Supplies and just stay out of this by the looks of it. Interesting. So, Swordmaster. I wonder if Irulan's going to trash Prepare the Way here for the spice. She's got 9 persuasion currently. Could also just not trash and reveal and take the point. But you're after priority contract as well, so I guess you just trash and take the action. No one else is taking that from you. It's as good as a point. And there's no real reason to take one over the other, so I think trashing's fine. Where she's off to next, though, I don't know. Fade will make the first one to jump at the Fremen here. He does have covert operation and could still go Bene Gesserit and infiltrate there. which could be really awkward for Irulan, potentially. So I don't know what Staban's going to do here. Apart from, I assume he's going Arakeen? He's going to win this fight, surely. But it's really weird. Like, his Desert Power's not really doing anything in his hand now. And I don't think going like Imperial Basin and weird in combat's going to win you the game, especially when you got your ring in hand. It's why I didn't really like this routing. I just felt, you know, you ring something, might not be the best of moves, but then you can at least branch into Siege, get your hooks, get a load of troops in, and you get to reveal Desert Power for the water you get at Siege to get the worm in, and you just get a lot of action compression done. So, you know, it's not the first time I've said this channel, but I can't say I like it. Get it on the shirt one day. Just don't think this routing was the best. And now he just doesn't really know what to do here. And the only thing you can do at this point is you feel like just go Arakeen and punt it in and hope you win, but it doesn't look great. Muad'Dib did play his Diplo, not to Highliner. So you've got to go for this fight. But Fade is also pretty scary. No. Wow. So the Barn Tuek is going to stay out of this. Well, this is very patient. I think it's too patient. I think there was a chance to really take this by the scruff of the neck and, you know, you've got the swords behind you. I guess he was too worried about Muad'Dib he's just going Haga Basin all the time, but yeah, it just felt like this whole turn's been kind of really not great. And you can't really afford a lot of those to Staban. Staban is too tricky a leader. And you need to really flow from move to move and round to round. You have one kind of tough round, it's really hard to kind of get the train back going sometimes. He needs to use an intrigue as well, by the way. He's got change allegiances. He has the spice. He could go for an alliance here. But again, Staban cannot take the Fremen alliance and get the worm in because he doesn't have any hooks. Is he going to go Benny Alliance? Looks it. Benny Alliance it is. So picks up another intrigue. Call to Arms now, which you can use now at the gas. It protects his hand, but it does get Branching Path working, I suppose. And I'm a bit worried for Staban here. So here comes Muad'Dib's worms. I don't know quite where Irulan's going to go here. She has 9 persuasion. I guess you can just go Arakeen and double draw. Like, you're probably good for Spice Must Flow still. Could go accept contract if it's something you want more. If you want the Spice Refinery stuff. That's what she opts to do. Does take Spice Refinery. Both Highlander contracts out there now. We'll end the troops. The troop contract is like one of the best in the game as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely devastating that can win matches sometimes. Fade decides not to use covert. Instead, he's off to research station and is going to just absolutely rip this in. Wow. It's not even a matching conflict for Fade here. Eight persuasion. No Spice Must Flow. So Staban's just going to go Guild Spy and close his eyes and hope that he's going to manage to take his points. It's a good card for Staban to it, don't get me wrong. Like, he's got some decent stuff in his deck here, but he's got some points to catch up here with. Muad'Dib gets the random intrigue. Oh dear. Oh dear. And this is why Muad'Dib is just so hellish to fight. Unbelievable. Finds Devour. finds the win. A bit of run good would be nice. He's still got to put the troop in. He can't deploy it. It's mandatory, so I have to tell him. So Irulan just takes Spice plus Flow. Priority contracts will be coming later. Fade with 8. And a couple of spies. So he's going to lift one. Possibly. He's going to feel like he has to lift one here, right? But he loses to a lot of intrigue, so it doesn't feel the best. Arakeen Spy. Yeah, I think this one's getting lifted. I don't think it really matters where he put this. So the 2 swords. He's been pretty liberal with those, but he's gonna come up short here. And Muad'Dib also gets the trash as well with Devour. Ugh. Muad'Dib gets absolutely everything to Devour here. Like, what a time to pull that in that card. Absolute gin. It's gonna be crushing for Fade Ralph for this, by the way. This is a not great. Second place is still pretty decent. Muad'Dib is going to get 3 trashes out of this hand. Does he even have 3 cards to trash? Probably. It's going to be pretty wild, this. So, here comes Muad'Dib with Devour. So, a lot... Just absolutely nails it. What a result. Nothing Fade can do. Crazy stuff. Fade still gets a couple of trashes, which is still pretty good. This is like just such an absolutely absurd worm conflict, by the way. So it's just completely ridiculous. I mean, this is worse than Charm Security. And I think Muad'Dib has become favourite in this match now. Next up, it's another insane worm conflict. Protect the Sieges now. And this alliance is still open. You figure Fade and Muad'Dib are going to go hammer and tong at this. Fade does not pull faction access, though. Surely he's just going to go Haga Basin immediately and just get dudes in. Irulan pulls Steersman for the first time. Been waiting for that a little bit. Staban finds Guild Spy. He's also got Power of Compass, though, which is now valued everything, so he's going to start taking his bumps and spice plus flows there, so Staban can start trying to catch up. So what's Irulan's plan here? I feel like Irulan's got to start playing factions here. I feel like it's got to be the way to go. Maybe you go Dutiful here. And just get that alliance done and dusted. Maybe you go Secrets or Espionage. Get that also going. I think both are okay. Both Spice Refinery contracts for the double draw in the water. Irulan's got to get priority contracts this round, and then she's got to try and find it possibly next round. Don't know if this game's going to carry on for beyond 7 rounds here. Doesn't feel like it. It's hard to know exactly. With the camera touch for you guys, sorry. Can see Irulan a little bit better here. Espionage it is. I think Espionage can't be bad. It's a point. Point to point. Obviously no Espionage Spy. All faction spies are blocked up, though. I think Espionage has got to be the play. You've got to get there while you still can. I don't think you need to worry too much about Muad'Dib going Heavy Emperor here. I also think you've got enough contracts. I don't think you need any more. Yeah. Feels better. Arakeen Spy, yeah, looks good for obviously future drawing. Will make sense. So, what is Fade Ralph's plan? He does not have access to the Fremen. He feels like he's got to win this. Basin, Coordination, Worm. Coordination to Sardaukar. Doesn't feel a bad route. Also, you can just go Basin and threaten Highliner. And basically say, well, okay, have you got it or do you not have it? If you've got it, you kind of have to, you know, what you're going to do here. Put him into a position. Staban is going to be making sure he gets his Spice Must Flow. So Arakeen, double draw. Fighters is found. Staban is going to start climbing the points track here. He's going to obviously put in a couple of troops for the Spice. It's a matching conflict for him as well. Is Staban to it going to try and win this? Surely not. He's got Depart for Arrakis. He doesn't have any spice for it, though. It's been a very strange Staban 2-8 game, this, truthfully, but you can't play it to see it. He's hanging in there. So Muad'Dib now has to give the fact he doesn't have the faction access. And now knows that Fade Ralpha is threatening Highline. End all coordination. Just taking some cash with Recon. It's a curious move, isn't it? Muad'Dib kind of doesn't want to pull Diplo. He'd rather, if he's got the Highline contract, he'd rather just blast them into round 7, really. It's not a conflict that he needs to win desperately. It's one that Fade desperately has to make sure he doesn't lose to Muad'Dib, so... Irulan really wants some money here, so she can start hitting more privilege and stuff like that, but there's no way to really generate it. Steersman only goes to faction access or general board spaces. So she's going to keep trying to draw here. Takes more city contracts. Here comes the Highline. Fade will blast in. Nowhere to put any spies here, so it's just the access. Wow, Fade's not putting it all in. What? Why are you leaving the one back? What's that about? I guess because he's going to go Haga Basin anyway, so I don't think it's that relevant. So Staban has got Long the Fighters. He can't ever win the Fremen Alliance. He's considering just going Fremkit here and just drawing a load of cards and ripping the spy off and basically just drawing the rest of his deck here. He's got 4 cards, though, so if he pulls his spy, he can't use everything properly here. He's going to run out of cards, so he might as well leave it there. So he draws the rest, which is his branching, his convincing, and his desert power. He still does not have hooks, by the way. Convincing's going to go. I guess Desert Power, you just... It's going to take it in hand. Going to not take Branching Path? 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. That's a strange card to leave. So they know he's got Desert Power, which is kind of weird, because wouldn't you just... Like, he's not got hooks. Should be noted, by the way, Desert Power is an or. It's not an and. It's 2 Persuasion or the Water and Hook. So I guess he's going to use Paracompass to get to Siege? Well, not anymore. Muad'Dib's going to keep going here. He feels he's got nothing to lose. He's got Unswerving Loyalty. He can deploy Retreat the Troop now. He's got the Fremen Bond. Irulan's going to start trying to make moves here. Has to recall an agent here. Doesn't pull great. Oh, pulls convincing. Oof. I think the best Irulan can do is pull back, like, accept contract or something, and then just go Assembly Hall? Can't be the same agent she put down. Bit of a rough one. Decides to offer of espionage. I don't think it really matters which one she pulls here. I don't think it's that relevant. So Fade Worm. And what's the barn going to do here? 2, 4, 5. Is he just going to use Desert Power? But he can't use it anywhere. He's got no access. I've no idea. Not sure what he's going to do. Fade has to get the troop in. He can't lose this. More so than him wanting to win it. Or is he just going to use his ring? I don't know. I don't really know what Staban is. Yeah, it feels like he just got this wrong. I feel like he's made a bit of a mess of this. It's twice now he could have got to Siege and well, this time he couldn't do much about it. Yeah, they know Guild Spy's coming off. But honestly, it's not helping a ton. Like, it's not getting him any closer to the Throne Alliance, and it might help him get towards the Emperor bump, but this Guild Spy is not doing a ton of good. That's the problem here. Guild Spy it's nice to have here, but one faction's not going to be reachable, and the other one, he's not really ever getting either alliance, so it's not doing a ton here. He's got no access at all to the Spacing Guild. Like, his entire deck is in front of us here. He has no Spacing Guild access whatsoever. And he's reliant on Guild Spy to get the Emperor bumps. So, there's problems here. Gather support. Doesn't feel great. I guess he's just gonna set a spy to research station / siege and see what he draws. So Muad'Dib will reveal, gets the troop, can deploy it. He might as well see his intrigue. He still puts it in, by the way. Secure spice trade is found, which is nice, but I don't think it's helping Muad'Dib a lot here. So it's like, eh. He's not really gone down that route at all. But the Superliner is on its way. Just takes one prepare. Only thing Irulan can do is Assembly Hall here. There's no other move. Reinforcements is found. It's a nice little intrigue. Don't know how useful it's going to be for her, but you've got it. Fade will feel like he's got to rip a spy off here. He does not want to lose this. Muad'Dib could have pulled anything. He doesn't want to give up the espionage spy, but I really don't think it's doing a lot at this point. Yeah, it's worth sacrificing here. Just make certain of it. And Staban will get the Spice Must Flow. No worm. He has no hooks. Change Names is obviously used earlier, so the Throne Bump's not doing a ton, really. Staban has got 2 more Persuasion if he does want to buy anything else, like a Prepare. I think like he should get a Prepare the way here. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I'll make it 11. Yeah, I think so. And then Spice for Irulan. So Staban's going to take the couple. It's going to be 6 Spice and 2 troops. Muad'Dib's sitting there with 12 Spice and Superliner, which is pretty wild. He can blow walls whenever he wants. Because I don't believe he'll be pulling the Highliner Spy. He'll leave it there. And Fade Ralpha saves his alliance. But it was expensive. So here we go then. Tier 3s. First up is Imperial Base, and it is... What a spin that is for Muad'Dib, by the way. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Highliner and then ripping the spy with special mission.
and getting worms in and winning, he can score every single point here. And he's got the match. That is the absolute Jin combat for Muad'Dib. It is absolutely perfect. I don't think he's going to be stopped here. He just has to get his way. He just has to get a worm in combat. That's the one problem he's got here. Can he espionage and put a spy on Deep Desert? Let's do some maths here. So 11. So he's got 12. Espionage should put him down to 11. Or he could even go secrets maybe and do it that way. But still with espionage, so 11. Hana would be 6, and he pulls the spy, and he gets back to 8. Yeah, so Muad'Dib, absolute perfect conflict here. I don't think he's going to be stoppable. He's going to have just too much here. And I don't think anyone's catching. I don't see how anyone else is going to win this fight. Like, it just seems completely insane here. Faye does not pull great, by the way. Irulan does have Steersman. She does have the spice for Highliner, but she's never getting there. And again, Muad'Dib should Highline, and he should not pull the spy. He should hold that on to... Oh, it's a bit tricky, though, actually. Muad'Dib's probably going to have to Highline first, and then hope to get to secrets to get to, like, the spy on Deep Desert, and then rip special mission. I think that's the route he has to take here. Highline, secrets, assuming espionage is gone by that point. And then go from there. If both spots go, however... And Haggard Basin is also taken. It's a huge problem for Muad'Dib, so he needs a little bit of luck here. He could also consider, if espionage is available first up, just going espionage, putting 2 spies. Then he doesn't mind infiltrating a Highliner, but he knows that Irulan's going to blast it in. But then he might not need the spy for Deep Desert. Oh no, Fade's then going to start putting in worms here, so this is all a bit awkward here. I think Muad'Dib has to Highline immediately and not recall the spy. Don't think he can afford to recall it. Specifically because of special mission. We'll see. Anyways, Fade just goes research station and just puts in as much as humanly possible. So the Barn's in trouble here. Finally, he's going to go Siege and get hooks in. Irulan's obviously got plenty of contracts. And she's looking to cash in a lot of these for this fight. Oh, well, pulls along with the fighters. That's a heck of a pull for Staban there. He's going back to research station. He's going to obviously draw his entire hand here. I don't think there's any way he can ever steal the Fremen Alliance, though. So, Muad'Dib has the Highline. I think he kind of wants to go... He could go espionage, but then he's just allowing Irulan to Highline. If you think you can beat her anyways, then you don't worry about it. But it's Highline and does save the spy. Yep. And assuming Muad'Dib gets to any of the Bene Gesserit spots here, this game is over. This game is just absolutely over. What an absolutely outrageous combat this is for Muad'Dib. Absolutely perfect for him. Irulan's just going to take some... just going to start gathering some points here. Probably just go get the Emperor Alliance first, get the spy down. I don't know where the spy's going, truthfully. Council, I guess, yeah. She wants it as well for mercenaries, of course. But this is surely Landman's to take. Meanwhile, Fade is going to just do what he can here. But it's pretty desperate stuff. Dune is not... Well, I mean, it's access to worms. But of course, the wall's up. T4, 6, 7, 8, 9 persuasion. But the only spy he's got down is at Haggard Basin, so he doesn't really want to use it. It's not a great draw for him. Fade must realise he can't win this, but I think he's going to feel he's just got to get stuck in, and what happens, happens. Fight for second place. 5 spice is not inconsiderable, and it might be relevant for tie breaks. Surely Staban's just going to go reset station and just blast in here with everything he's got. He's got 5 swords for weirding. Unfortunately, backed by Choem is not giving me anything. Gets another draw. He might go secrets, perhaps, with branching path to trash back by Choem. He also has Depart from Arrakis as well. So he's gonna test Muad'Dib here. This might not be as over as it looked. In fact, this might be Depart from Arrakis time. Worm coming as well. Yes, the barn's going to go for it here. Well, maybe there's a twist in this tale. Maybe there's a twist in this tale. Gets no draw. And they know Staban's going to get a worm in now. If the wall survives. The problem is that Muad'Dib has to blow the wall before Staban, but he doesn't care. If he gets a deep desert, he's still got a he still gets more strength in, so it's got to be Bene Gesserit. I'd probably go secrets because of branching. In fact, he's getting off his spice. I also think secrets is just better for you here. No one's infiltrating. He's trying not to see what he's going to draw here, but I don't think there's a lot that's great. About the only good card is Unswerving Loyalty. The rest is like not really doing a whole lot. His ring's also okay. I don't think there's a lot really worth drawing. I think secrets are stronger. And he does agree. Shadow Alliance is now found, which is... If this game goes another round, that's not irrelevant, by the way. That is not relevant at all. And here comes the spy. And now they know what's going on. They're like, oh no, he can blow the wall. Now they know. Now they know +6 is coming in. Intrigues are coming in. He could have almost anything here. So Irulan can do a ton of stuff here. Irulan could Imperial Privilege twice here. You could go Imperial Privilege, then use Steersman, pull the agent away from Privilege, and then go back to Privilege later on. Maybe go Steersman to, like, Spice Refinery. You also do want your Space Alliance as well. That'd be nice. I think she has to go either Privilege or Deliver Supplies. She'll be a little bit worried of Muad'Dib maybe going Privilege. It's a little uncomfortable. He doesn't have access, but she doesn't know that. She might also think that she gets to Deliver Supplies enough of the time. Blue doesn't have access, so Privilege it will be first. She'll draw everything here, I imagine. So Mercenary's just going to play now. Obviously gets the respin. Contingency is found, which... probably get trashed, I imagine. So 1 for the spy, 1 for the space, 1 for the card. Contingency will go. I imagine she'll lift smuggling because she's like, well, I can't really give Deep Desert. I've got to force Muad'Dib to pay here. Breach Agreement's found, which is even worse, actually. You might decide to go back there. That might be an option for you. So you got the spice. Phaedra Alpha can't get there, and Muad'Dib clearly is not going there, so it seems perfectly safe to me. Fade just reveals. Just reveals for the spice and the spies. And he'll obviously lift 1, but he might not even bother. It's between red and blue here. Branching has been blocked off from Staban, which is the good move there by Muad'Dib, so it was a good spot there. That man's played pretty well, I think, all things considered, this game. Staban's got... If he uses a worm, assumably, he's got 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8, 10. He's got Troll Persuasion, so he can do any action he wants. He could just go Spice Refinery if he's that desperate to get Branching Path off. He could also just Desert Power Hager Basin. And I expect that's what he's going to do here. I don't know. The problem is Back by Chom is doing absolutely nothing in your hand. Absolutely nothing. So you would just do it this way instead. +2 spice is +2 spice, I guess. Staban gives it up. Oh, of course, he couldn't put a worm in. Of course, because the desert power, the wall was still up. He must have realized it was going to blow, though. Yeah. What's he done here? Atomics! If he just waited. Yeah. Creative has blundered here. And that, surely, that might well give the game here to Muad'Dib, but it's not guaranteed still. Staban has some swords. Muad'Dib's going to need some help on intrigues. Muad'Dib is going to need help on intrigues here. Staban has still got 8 swords coming. So Muad'Dib needs help. This is not one yet. It's not a big deal for Staban not getting the worm in, but it is going to cost him a point if he wins this. He would have at least been able to pair up and double up the basin, which would have been nice. Yep, take basin, just keep spinning there, keep spinning intrigues. Makes sense to me. But yeah, Staban, again, his creative, showing his not so familiar with Uprising. It's a definitely different beast to Iximo. So Staban's going to score a point here. A couple of points. Spice must flow. I mean, the game still ends this round. He still would score 3 points because of the Guild Spy. He'd score 1 for the match, 1 for the spice, and 1 for Basin itself here. So this is last round regardless. He should have been at 11 instead of 10. Does Muad'Dib get away with this? He needs a 5 strength intrigue. There's a few of them out there. Can he fluke it? They're definitely out there to find. Spy lifting would be no good, but dropping a bump he would do. Does he get lucky? No! Intelligence report is only a troop. The only thing he can pull is unswerving. I don't think it's enough. Doesn't find it. Wow. Well, I think Muad'Dib can count himself a bit unlucky here. I think took just the complete right route. But Staban is going to intrigue his way to victory in this fight, and possibly victory in this match here. Unless Irulan can find a couple of points. She needs intrigue help urgently. She wants secure spice trade, but it's gone. I don't know what else you can get. Strategic stockpiling would also be good. That'd just be a point. Because you find anything. It's all there to find. No, Desert Mouse is the wrong match. It's no good. She's also not even got the Spice Must Flow currently. She should get it from Spice Refinery, though. She's got, like... Oh, she's only got 2 more cards to draw. Irulan might have played too many cards. She's got 7 Persuasion. I don't know if she can actually get Spice Must Flow anymore. I don't think it's on. I was just thinking that. I've had 6-turn actions, six action rounds of Irulan before. I've done it in North Carolina, actually. I've never done the Mythical 8, though. It's a lot of money. Yeah. And it's all gone wrong here. He's drawn the Spiceless Flow, which is not what he wanted. So, I don't think there's anything Irulan can do now except fluke it Assembly Hall. Spiceless Flow is gone. He's made a mess of this. The problem is if you're going to do a six action round, you need like a 15 card deck, which he doesn't. He's only got 13. You need a lot of cards. You're using half your deck as action, so to get the Spiceless Flow still was really hard. And buy access is no good. Was hoping to find an intrigue to get him there, but doesn't. It's only 8. Maybe should have picked up priority contracts at an earlier point. I don't know. Would it have made a difference? Maybe not. It doesn't matter. The game is over here. It looks like Creative's going to take this down. He's going to win this. It's been a very rocky road for him. And he's maybe gotten a little fortunate at the end of how this has gone down. I think Muad'Dib can count himself unlucky. Chief's going to finish second at least, which he can live with. Yeah. Nothing he can do. It's all over. It is all over. Creative sort of humbles and stumbles his way a little bit. And gets the win. Yeah, that was the problem for Irulan there. Just the problem is it's good to have that many actions, but you need a deck that can support it. I've been on both sides of that. You've either got to do a load of actions and stick at the spot, or do a load of actions and win the fight, and you're never going to do it. I do think Creative will look back on this game, and I think he'll be happy to admit that, you know, this was not the most convincing victory you're ever going to see. It was very, very tenuous there. I think Long the Fight has made total sense grabbing early, and Guild Sky popping off has got him the extra victory point at the Emperor, which he was never getting otherwise. And yeah, I think Muad'Dib can feel pretty unlucky he's gone down. I just think made the right move. High line, secrets, deep desert. You can have like at least 20, 22, 24 strength. But Staban, if he intrigued his way to win, then he gets it. Like, definitely a lot of value of fighters, but he had a lot of tricky turns. Yeah, really, really tough stuff there. But he gets there, so you know, takes it down and rocks and rolls here. Mentions as well for the other players. Say, I think Red played a pretty good game. Couldn't much they could do. I think Fade as well it was a tough old spin. I think those early ties really hurt Fade a lot and caused a lot of damage. And he was kind of forced into defending the Fremen lines. It was not a fight he particularly wanted to win. He didn't have a lot to gain from it, but there was a ton of stuff he could have lost. So it was, you know, Fade kind of stuff in kind of some really awkward spots. His deck also wasn't that great. No real stellar cards in it, unfortunately. So let's look at the table while the players chat about the game here. And Chief will, I think, be fairly happy with his return. First and second place for first 2 games is pretty decent going. But Creative gets the win from his first one, which he'll be over the moon with for sure. Landman with 4 points from 2. Not the worst. Still needs to try and probably find a win, you'd think. Last 2 games to try and make sure he stays in the challenge for the top 5. Obviously, a lot of players won't be making it through here. Juodameska joining back, so only the 1 point first game. Probably deserved a bit more from this one, truth be speaking. Regardless, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Fun little game here. We'll try and get some more coverage for Group Q before all is said and done here. So they got a lot of games to play here, so I think makes total sense. And we should be able to get some more before all is out. Anyways, folks, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and we shall see you all in the next conflict.